in its own right. So we'll see how things all unfold. It will be Rise on the offense first. Pretty heavy stack over the middle of the map. Tig in a position to maybe even read this, as LG have actually a pretty full stack defensively up them gut. And how about the combination of Dre, Tig, and Bane? Oh my goodness. 4 fall so quickly. It's just up to Derek. And well, I don't really know where you go from here, friend.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where both teams decided to roll the dice on doing some early mid control, and the aggressive defense of LG is what really rang true on that. And your boy Dre, obviously a big part of it. Again,
a lot of abbreviated health pools still exist for the offensive half, and well, Dre is also up top watching over the top of this with a Vandal, so difficult situations here. There's Dre for 2, should be able to find the 3rd, no problem, and will. Boys did find 1 before falling, but maybe I'm gonna think about the wide peak. Finds 1, finds 2. Beautiful stuff from Derek. Now it's just down to Dazzle, and everyone knows where he's at. 15 HP, and what was looking like a very promising bonus is all of a sudden just come down to Dazzle for the 1v2, trying to find an angle to peek. Throws out a couple of shots, but Shanks, wide angle, no problem. And Rise, they take the 3rd.
A is going to be a little bit more vulnerable, though I have to say LGF rotated pretty quickly up through heaven.
And they have, and Tig on top of the site. Could have find 2 before dropping. Dazzle up above, able to find his trade. So it does kind of rely on now a 2v3 for Rise as they'll get this going. And there will be an opportunity in front of Derek, but can only find 1. So now poised from behind, no spike, will have to win this round off of both kills. Have to move quickly. Ban absolutely hears it, ready for it, finds the kill. Luminosity go up 3-1 after the full buy.
Late flank mid could be the insurance policy.
It is just 1 knife though in hand, so it's got to hit ahead. Lines it up. Perfect. Finds the 2nd, looking for more, but those were a little bit shakier. But still, 3 kills from Shanks may be enough. It's Dazzle for the 1v4, and honestly speaking, there will not be an opportunity for this retake to come through, so he will back away, save, and Shanks able to convert the round for Rise.
Yeah. The lockdown, you're an orb away from Seeker, so you're putting yourself in a spot where if you play your cards right, even with low firepower, you can... Trailblazer comes through, clears back hall, so doesn't really get a whole lot of intel, but Tig still gets caught nonetheless, and Rise will clean up as kind of anticipated.
To get deep on towards this B site, force out the nanostorm. Shanks able to dash away, does take a lot of damage, and Tig actually responds to Neptune on the long play, so this is already good, but Shanks maybe to save the day once more, finds the 1st, knows the 2nd has to be close, not able to lock down the shots. Tig for a 2nd, time becoming a bit of a problem, need to get this plant off, and they will be able to salvage it thanks to Ban able to find a pick through the middle of the map.
A brilliant move, but they did kind of lose out on the trades here. A man behind now on this post-plant hold. There's a res available for Ban as well.
Oh, the timing for Soup is incredible, though! This A hit from multiple angles. Tig's gonna try to hold from the front, finds 1, finds 2, looking for the 3rd, has to try to swap to the secondary. Couldn't quite get the wheeled up in time, but Dre, who had fallen back, popped the Empress, finds the kill, and it's just down to boys. 1v2, has to move quickly. Dre on top of the site, though, cleans things up. And LG walk away cleanly with the aggressive play through A main.
They had 4 guys there, and the Rise is like, what in the world? There's 4 people peeking A main. At least they know that B is open, but they still have to get past the utility of a Proto, and they're not doing so. A Proto's laying them down.
Oh, he's saying, I heard you there, Shift and Dust. Let me show you what I got cooking in the kitchen. Oh, that's for darn sure. Here it comes. Everyone baited on in. Boys looking for the angle. Finds 1. Lots of damage onto a 2nd. That's Tig who's low. The Nanoswarm finishes things off. And Boys able to lock down the A site, but wait a second. Dazzle gets through in the back. Dre able to put down Boys, and all of a sudden, it's Luminosity who find themselves for a potential plant. Rise looking to contest this early, but the flash is not ideal. Shanks essentially taken out of the play by a friendly Hawk, and now it's a 3v1 favoring the LG offense.
Yeah, this is not looking good whatsoever here for Shanks on low HP. Gets torn apart and will be okay. That's one of the great things about Sage on this map, and something that I feel like Nitro kind of popularized on 100Ds last year even, kind of around first strike times, is there's so many different ways you can use Sage's wall on the attacking side to set up tricky angles, whether it's looking over smokes at A main or LG.
30 seconds
They were swinging for the fences there through middle, trying to go on the back halls. Maybe if they clear Poise for free, it allows them to get quicker access to B, and it puts a lot more pressure on Superman to hold, and maybe that could have worked out, but Poise getting 1 and getting the early intel so quick, it allowed Superman to get...
You do have a little bit of utility being spent from the side of Rise's defense to try to hold off on this, but LG still pushed through, including Ban's wall. Derek now having to force to respond to anything and everything that comes his direction. Finds 1, affected by the slower, but his teammates are there to help, and it means that Tig, the last hope, needs to come back to the spike with 12 seconds and find these eliminations. The trade, though, will be there. Neptune is just down to a single point of health, really. 5 HP to his name. And for LG, oh man, you might find savior here. From Proto finds one, almost gets another 1v1, but the double shell was there. And you have to feel like even if you found the first, the trade would have been sure, and that will be enough for Rise to get the defuse.
Yeah, good double challenger that makes sure that a Predator was really never going to have a chance to solo out some duels.
Spike making its way onto site, still not planted yet. And Rise have used this bit of cover from the Cosmic Divide to essentially just stay safe for now, wait for this to dissipate, which it does. Empress for Dre, though, able to find one. Proto simultaneously gets a second. Shanks on the flank, moving his way forward, looking to get the blades into play. And Poise has opened up a bit of space, but not quite enough. But Poise
shots to force through, but yeah, not a whole lot to be gained.
It's not bad, forces out a res. Spike will rotate to A. Proto will lurk just to try to keep Derek honest, and well, honest he shall stay. 10 rounds now on the board for LG.
Yep, starting to spring out in front now. Okay, I think he could have been a bit more of a ninja in that regard. Now that he's there, but he still gets the entry, so it doesn't matter.
It's more than serviceable eliminations, though. This has kept everything all level. Seekers come through. Guiding Lights as well. Affected his band. Reptune not quite holding down enough ammunition to find Dazzle as well. Shanks looking for the trade, but has to be cautious holding on to the operator, and now Garden is completely possessed by LG. Proto gonna reinforce that, and Shanks misses a shot up top through glass. 3 players, pretty darn healthy. Cosmic Divide gonna split the site into 2. A little bit of pressure here, but again, Neptune able to clear some space, dive right on in, finds a third elimination. How has Neptune done this? But Dre and Ban down low, find a couple, 1v1, Dre!
Info gathering abilities alongside your boy Dre with Empress, just looking to strike off the back of it. Hunter's Fury certainly a big factor as well, creating that opening into Garden. But like you said, Derek, all of a sudden, maybe making this interesting. He could get flanked. Oh, he still got burnt by that again.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think he anticipated that happening.
No way. And Proto's given himself such a huge advantage. This would have been 2 1v1s with Derek at full HP, but now barely anything to speak of, and Proto finds the free angle and luminosity in the back half.
Also had a round like that in the second half where he's able to make like a really big play inside of a smoke and turn around on its head. So when it comes to Icebox next, they have only played it twice in the last few months. They have lost both times, and both those games weren't even really that close. I guess against Genji.
We'll see what they can do here on their offensive half to start things off. They have been perfect in the pistols, at least thus far through a set. Things looking a bit more questionable here, though, but Dre again finds 2. Shanks able to stay alive around the backside of the barrier, finds 1. There will not be a full-on trade. Players up top, though, making life difficult for Rise to hold on to this site. We live with a 2v2. Tig changes that. Now an advantage over towards LG's offense. Superman down low, wants to take the ropes, finds the first, but doesn't get the second. Dazzle takes the chow, gets the kill, wins the round. Post plant setup, going to adjust just a touch. Looking for players to overwhelm from the back, but there will be a bit of a restructure here. Tig makes sure that Superman is dealt with. And as Proto reads that, yeah, hey, they're actually trying to split this back through mid. He takes down to final 2, and LG, like you mentioned, they very well, actually beyond that, fought a couple of ARs to really solidify this post plant.
Look at the upgrades here. Being able to get Vandals of plenty on pretty much their whole lineup, and now Tig is lighting up the scoreboard with it. Neptune left alone and cleared out by your boy Dre. They are getting smacked right now. And I mean, the thing is, we've come to know Icebox sometimes as a bit of a fast-paced set-piece simulator. And there is definitely something to be said about teams that use their Viper into the utility more towards long B, and it kind of can be a little bit slower pace at that point in time where you're just kind of playing for position.
Tried to get really aggressive. Not a lot of space to make that play happen. Shanks able to finally put down one more member. Tig with 1 response before being traded, and this is looking much more complete from Rise.
1 enemy remaining.
And you really do have to credit the fact that Shanks just brings the big gun to the table and essentially just single-handedly puts this whole push to bed. Fan watching over the corner just to see if Derek wants to peek this before he's eventually going to have to come through. And oh my goodness, Derek Pete does peek it. Finds the kill, no problem. Even Drake's pinstripe goes the kill feed. Neptune, though, Paint Shell's able to get involved, wants to try to stick this in. How about it from Tig? Clutch up position, backside green, may just do enough. Poise has to deal with this, and the problem is, as he's forced to, Dazzle has reset and moved. Like you mentioned, still 1 more to deal with up close, and yeah, Poise is not in a position to deal with this whatsoever. LG's going to take another round.
And that's a burnt lockdown as well. That doesn't convert, and you're down 1-6. This is getting to a very scary place for Rise. They are sinking.
Or part of it through the wire as well. Superman over on the side. Nothing he can do there with the Sheriff. Although Poise continues to fight back in these very difficult rounds. That's just until Dre gets involved. My goodness, how good has Dre been?
Yeah. Yeah, again, I think you should have rolled the dice on Breeze here if you're Rise. I mean,
Aldrone scouts him out. Supa does find a kill, and Shanks has an escape, so there is that to consider. Derek is here to try to assist, and maybe even further beyond that, keep this A-zone contested. And as Shanks comes back to the battle, hold on a second. There's another elimination, but Dre. Oh, it's Dre. He just misses through the Hunter's Fury. And able to come from the high ground. And Derek locks one with the Marshall. Shanks a second. Toggles the spike, trying to bait out some utility, but there is still Resurrection to come into play. Poise able to find one more responding behind this, but again, this play through Yellow was looking okay until Poise has something to say about it. Now it's all about Tig. And that bounce pass is actually a considerable amount, maybe even short. Yeah, not going to find the kill. Derek puts it away, and Rise will have a chance to get themselves a second round.
I thought it actually completely missed.
Try to clear up maybe a bit more space, but Proto just says not going to allow you to play with your utility at all. So now it is just on to Derek. Finds the first, and what's going to be another two. Coming around the corner, does still have two shock darts, but has to check every angle, and there's just so many angles to check.
VoIP?
I mean, you got to think confusion is maybe even set and beyond that. I mean, you've tried a lot of stuff like you've mentioned, and just you haven't found a lot of success, including even First Blood here. Dazzle's even going to put a little bit of pressure on.
Oh my god.
A bit of friendly fire onto Dre, but once again, it's Band able to find the second kill, and Tig's on the long flank. Poise, are you ready for this? Nope, not at all. And so now the last two Rise members are completely trapped on this A site. Yes, there's the Vipers to keep them safe, but they have nowhere to go.
It's been this combination of not only just the really fast-paced attacks onto A side the majority of the time, but then it's what they do with it, right? They can double back to B. They can do these different timings where they have a solo player playing out through middle. Keep their hopes alive here in this series. So we'll have to just kind of sit back and see if they can do it as they are looking to trudge into A, but oh my god, this A defense is pretty well stacked.
It very much so is. Shanks will get the brute force of the first. Oh no, Proto, he's found two. Superman trying to recover, but there's just nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go. I was gonna say, so in Chicago, like slow pitch softball is huge. It's like a huge thing, and there's literally like there's rules where like you can only hit so many home runs. If you hit more than the limit of home runs you can hit, you get negative runs essentially.
Holy cow! Okay,
yeah, that's the whole thing. Speaking of knocking things out of the park, Dazzle for two. Easy segue. In a 2v2 situation, that Tig has again stuck behind the play, and everything falls onto Neptune's shoulders. Does get one. Not as cleanly as I think he would hope. Does get a read on the Proto, though, but again, just tagged up too heavily, and LG now one round away.
They're somehow coming together here and making a challenge for Challengers playoffs. They are one round away from being there.
Oh my goodness, the damage. So much utility damage, and put them to bed. How about it from Luminosity? 13-2 in map 2.
And again, a guy doesn't have a ton of experience, right? I know he played like on Serenity and Squirtle Squad and a couple other like smaller name teams. He's getting his chance to play at that VCT level now, and
you can't take anything away from them in any form. Put together quite a run so far. So again, the big storyline here after these two maps, Luminosity will be in regional finals, and then of course beyond that,